Hey everybody, welcome back to Bixby's Beer Reviews. So great to see you again. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I know I am because it's my birthday. That's right. We're celebrating, let's say, a less than momentous milestone in my life. I don't gotta tell you, at this point, the birthdays, they don't mean quite as much as they used to on a numerical basis. But that doesn't mean we can't have some fun, can't celebrate. So a little bit more of a lighthearted episode today. Just want to talk about what makes a great birthday beer. In my personal opinion, obviously, you should drink whatever you want. It's a free country. But in the meantime, we're gonna be drinking a beer that I've been saving, something a little bit special. This is the 2020 edition of Brooklyn Brewery's Black Ops. It is a barrel-aged stout. Now, you might remember our season finale last year, we checked out a very well-cellared bourbon barrel-aged stout. That was the 2017 Bourbon County brand stout from Goose Island. This one, not quite as cellared, but I did want to give it just a little bit of time to chill out. Now, what makes a good birthday beer? In my opinion, it just needs to have something a little bit special to you in it, something that makes it a little bit distinctive, a little bit more reflective of what you like and what you enjoy. So for me, this comes from the fact that this stout is aged in Four Roses small batch bourbon barrels. Happens to be my very favorite bourbon. It's the one that I use for cocktails. In fact, I may have one, probably not tonight, but sometime this week. Don't want to really add a cocktail onto what's in here. Now, Four Roses bourbon is my absolute favorite bourbon, and the small batch is what I use for my favorite bourbon cocktails. May even drop a little cocktail recipe down in the description here to give you an idea of how I like to use it. This isn't a cocktail video show, but no reason we can't do that anyways. So let's crack this one open. Take a look. Now, I think you all know a lot of reasons you might age different styles of beer, but for bourbon barrel-aged stouts, it's really about giving the alcohol and booziness just a little bit of time to calm down, so some of the malty character that's in the beer can shine and balance those boozy characteristics a little bit more. This one's 12.2%, so thought it wise to give it a year. So let's take a look right there. You can see it is an imperial stout. Black as sin, and I'm not even religious. There's absolutely no light coming through this beer, and it had a very motor oilish quality on the pour too. Very little head, just like our other barrel-aged stouts. You know, it's going to be a low carbonation style, anyways, because that's how you want to get the big, rich mouthfeel and all those flavors to come to the fore. So nothing too surprising here. That's what it looks like. Let's go ahead and give it a smell. A wonderful, rich, and very heady aroma on this one. In contrast to what we saw from the Bourbon County Stout that had been in its bottle since 2017, this one shows a lot more bourbon characteristics. And it's one of the things that I like about Four Roses that also shows up in this beer, which is that it tends to have a little bit more of a honeyish, a sweetish, a very well-rounded malty character, a wonderful aroma that almost smells like a cake to me. And that really comes through here. I get sort of cinnamon and nutmeg, and a little bit of honey, a little bit of almost caramel cream. It is very beautifully desserty smelling beer. But you can tell this is a booze bomb. You get that sort of thin, kind of whistling, clean booziness that can only mean alcohol. And so it tells you it's a hefty beer. I would say that the malt is still very much in the background. I get a little bit of a sort of a dark roast coffee in the background there, but it's really those bourbon characteristics that are still fresh even after a year. So smells wonderful. Let's go ahead and give it a taste. Dessert in a glass. Again, to contrast with that Bourbon County Stout, really well-aged stouts, in my experience, tend to have those chocolate and rich malty flavors in the way that the BCBS really brought to the fore. This one is much more of a balance between the strong bourbon character we got on the Aroma and those chocolate and coffee and dark roasty Maillard product malts that you get with a really good stout. And to me, it comes together not like a cupcake with really good frosting on it. So you get some delicious flavors of desserts, of a dark chocolate cake, Black Forest cake, things of that nature. But you also get that smooth, creamy, again, kind of cinnamony, caramelly malt that comes from the bourbon. And it's all backed by much more booziness than some better aged examples have, but not in an unpleasing way. If you're drinking a 12% stout, you do want to know it. And here, the booziness actually has a positive effect because it tends to cut through both the richness of the bourbon character that I mentioned earlier, and also the richness of the malt and the overall heft of the beer. There's a very rich mouthfeel here. And it acts not unlike a very intense hop bitterness can in a very boozy West Coast IPA to get more towards a drier, cleaner finish instead of just the overall heft and weight of the beer. So it's a very well done beer. I think this one sat in the bottle not a day longer than it needed to, nor shorter. And I really did enjoy having it on my birthday. So thanks very much for celebrating my birthday here with me today. So just between the two of us, I think you guys know I tend to shoot these a little bit in advance. So today is not actually my birthday. But of course, I think most of you guys watching this know, I tend to celebrate my birthday in at least a week to 10-day period that I often refer to as Dias de los Bixby, sometimes also known as the Flying Bixby Rejoice Festival in certain years. So very glad I could kick off Dias de los Bixby with you guys, share with you one of my favorite beers. I love the Brooklyn Black Ops series. I love to pick up a bottle every year, and it's something you can experiment with too. If you like this beer, maybe pick it up and then you can age it a little bit longer than I did if you want to bring out some more of the rich malty flavors, or get right into it as soon as you get it if you want to get some of those wonderful bourbon characteristics. So thanks for sharing a birthday beer with me. Really glad you can join me. Look forward to seeing you again. And until then, bye now and happy birthday to me.